Hello and welcome to episode 132 of Oblivion. I'm Marcel and I'm going to look into this guy getting killed by a supposed vampire hunter. Repeated tampering with Brandon's corpse is a crime and will alert the authorities. Oh.
I don't know what else to tell you.
Perhaps you can help me. I can't believe this is happening. Please, please, I need your help. My husband was no vampire. It's ridiculous. No one will listen to me.
Stop screaming. I will listen to you because I don't think your husband was a vampire. You'd be his victim if he was.
Forgive me. I loved my husband dearly, and to lose him this way makes no sense. Anything you can do to help would be wonderful. This is all happening so fast.
And furious. So tell me what happened.
I came home only just a few hours ago. I found the door open and my Braden dead. Standing over him was a Dunmer.
Few hours
I
ago.
screamed and ran out into the street. Some city watch were nearby and heard me, I suppose, as they arrived quickly. I heard the Dunmer identify himself as Rainiel Draelus. He said he was a vampire hunter, and that Braden was his mark. The guards seemed to know about Rainiel, and after a search of the house, the body of some beggar was found stashed in our basement.
Strange.
The guards sent for Carius, who is an investigator for crimes here in Bruma. In minutes, Rainiel convinced Carius that Braden was a vampire.
Few hours ago, but isn't it morning? I'm pretty sure Rainiel is supposed to have slain Braden at noon, so why was he standing over him till like 3 o'clock in the morning or so?
Well, of course it does. It was obviously planted here. Why would he stash a body in his own house? That's ridiculous.
True.
And another thing. The guards are making a big deal out of no one seeing Braden out in the daylight. Well, of course that's the case. He works at night and has to sleep during the day. Why does that make him a vampire?
It doesn't.
It's all that Rainiel character. I don't trust him. The thing that bothers me the most is that I swear I've seen him before. Of course, he says he's never been here. Look, there isn't much more to say. Please, help me clear my husband's name.
Okay. Anything about... Well, first
I'm
I'll
listening.
make you like me. So... Good, bad.
Sorry, I don't get it. Don't... My life is drab and wretched. I can't... No, that's just not... Such adventures. That's just... Gracious, what a hero. Don't... That's enough.
Okay, anything about Rainiel Draelus?
I have no idea where he'd be. Just find him and make him tell you the truth. I swear he's a liar.
Okay.
I know I
Excuse
sound
me.
desperate, but I know I'm right.
What time is it? Oh, it's 5:41 p.m., so a few hours ago, and at noon actually makes sense. Okay. Some murdered beggar. No, I want a light spell, not night eye right now. Lowering gaze, thief of virtue, handbill. Okay. I should have done this one. Add. I hope it contains some lockpicks. It doesn't. Just do 4 caresses. Which are distressingly furry. How do I get out of here? Oh.
Hello.
Goodbye.
Oh, you're back.
Hello.
Excuse me.
So let's see this Drelas fellow. And let's look into him. Map shows nothing. However, he probably would be in an inn. Yarrowville Inn is probably the one where he'd stay. And I don't need to be sneaking. I should be snickering though.
Hello there.
A Dunmer, she said. And Drelas does sound
Hail.
like a Dunmer
Alga
name.
sure can tell a...
Okay. Flour and yeast with elderberry shavings. I don't think elderberries are a thing here. Harada? That's... Wait, isn't that a Diedrich plant?
Good story.
Pretty
I'm not
expensive
normally a
to
big
put in
fan
a
of
pie.
Bard's tales, but she's got some... Good day.
Evil Knight. Have you heard of Reynold Drelas?
Ah, you mean that vampire hunter. He's staying over at Olav's Tap and Tack. It's near the city gates. You can't miss it.
Thanks.
You too.
Oh, not heal then. Wrong door.
Let's hear it.
Did you know that
This door. Yeah. Some dude with a sword has a statue here,
Good news from Black for a change. The last of the Daedra have been driven out.
Why did it suddenly freeze? I don't know, but it unfroze, so it's okay.
I take it you want something. Well, what is it? How does Ulfand manage to be a smith,
How are you?
trainer, and babysitter? You?
Great.
I don't know. What can I do for you today?
Find me a Reynold Drelas.
Please, go on. Raynild's staying in the last room down the hall upstairs. Here's the key. I always liked Braden and Arlene. They were a nice couple. I hope you get to the bottom of this, because I don't believe he was a vampire either.
Nobody does.
Have you heard that Arentus Falvius can summon creatures?
Not your average skill
Okay.
for a priest, but
Raynil
I suppose
isn't
there are
here.
those who will always...
Uh-huh.
I was at Olav's earlier, and I ran into this Dunmer named Reynild Dreles. After a round
That's
or
here.
two, he told me he...
Galaburn's journal. Okay. Why did he not keep it in his pocket? I have no idea. The 8th day has passed, and still there is no sign of the artifact. We've covered most of the remainder of the outer guard tower and scoured the crumbled house gate ruins, but no clue has arisen to where it may have been buried. It's quiet out here, as if the ruins were paying respects to the alien inhabitants that disappeared here long ago. We haven't encountered anything hostile, but if we do, I think we're ready. The Brotherhood's been in worse scrapes before. Braden paid good money for the information as to our treasure's whereabouts, and I hope it doesn't turn out to be yet another fiasco. This morning our camp was set upon by some bandits who were protecting what they claimed was their territory. Considering that we were outnumbered 3 to 1, we did very well. Only Rainiel suffered a small wound, but that was easily healed by a potion that Braden had thoughtfully brought with him on our expedition. After getting rid of the bandits' corpses, we set out to tackle the largest part of the ruin, the remains of the great keep. Two of the walls of the once mighty structure were collapsed, scattering the telltale whitish rock so typical of the Aelid architecture in this part of Tamriel. This made our assault on the ruin difficult, as many of the larger rocks of the wall were far too heavy for us to move. Braden suggested that we search the center of the building's foundation for any underground entrances, which was typical for this type of keep. His guess paid off, and after several hours of backbreaking work, yeah, I don't actually read it correctly always, apparently. We managed to clear an opening just large enough for us to squeeze through and enter an ancient stairway, leading down to the ground. We decided to wait until morning's light to begin our descent into the depths of the ruin. After a restless sleep, all of us were quite excited at the prospect of what might lie ahead. Eagerly, we dipped our torches in a fresh container of pitch, lit them, and entered the inky blackness of the stairwell. The stale air was choked with dust and fine grit, at least not art, a sign that no one had entered this portion of the ruins in a very long time. We were excited, as that meant no other tomb raiders have gotten there before us, not even the Lara of the Croft. The stairwell eventually leveled out into a corridor of sorts that snaked its way through the north. As we carefully walked along, I scanned the floor and walls very carefully for any type of triggers, tripwires, or pressure plates. Such was my specialty. The Aelids were well known for their cunning traps protecting their tombs, and I wasn't taking any chances. Braden, the scholar of the Brotherhood, was getting more and more excited as we traversed the passage. He was translating the wall carvings, and was becoming certain that we had finally found the true location of our prize. After walking for several more minutes, we were overjoyed to see what we were hoping to see. The hallway ended in a metal door with the carving of a spider upon it. Now came the true test of Braden's information. The door supposedly had a puzzle lock. By pulling on the spider's legs in a certain combination, it would unlatch. The wrong combination would spell our deaths, perhaps triggering a collapse of the hallway in some other equally deadly trap. With a shaky hand, I pulled the legs one by one in the order I had memorized. The sixth, the first, the second, the eighth, and finally the first again. I closed my eyes as there were a few loud clicks, and then the door popped open. We all breathed a sigh of relief. Pushing the door open, I looked at a huge room with a pedestal at the center. Sitting on the pedestal, illuminated by a shaft of sunlight from a tiny hole in the ceiling, was our prize. The floor was covered in a huge mosaic of stylized spider, all 8 of its legs coming to a point and ending up at the door entrance. This was the last of the traps of the Aelid left behind to protect the treasure. Again, if it hadn't been for Braden's skill at acquiring information, we may never had known how to solve this last line of defense. I instructed Braden and Rainiel to remain at the entrance and to tie a rope around my waist, in case of a sudden pitfall. Carefully, I began to walk on the darkened tiles that formed the third leg of the spider. Sweat beaded on my forehead, as the pathway made by the tiny pieces of ceramic was very narrow at the start, and one slip could again mean instant death. But death never arrived. The information had been correct, and I was able to make it to the pedestal and secure the artifact. Quickly as possible, we made our way back out into the daylight. Once again, the Brotherhood was triumphant, and it was time to return home. At the tavern that night, we decided to make a pact. We would stash the artifact in a cave not far from Bruma until we researched it further. An item of this magnitude could be very dangerous if mishandled, and we certainly didn't want to sell it without understanding its true value. Braden agreed to contract a local cooper to construct a chest with 3 locks. Each of us would hold a key to one of the locks so none would have access to the artifact without the others being present. For the rest of the evening, we drank merrily and sang many songs of our adventures and adventures to come.
It was an honest-to-goodness
Okay, let's take this.
vampire hunter.
Good day.
Take care. What can I do for you today?
Do you know of any Galaborn?
Galaborn? That's odd that you should mention that name. Raynal told me that he was the last vampire he hunted. Yeah, that's right. Somewhere in Skingrad, I believe. He said he tracked Gelborn down and killed him.
Galaborn.
That's apparently why the guards trust him so readily. They had gotten word from Skingrad's City Watch about Raynil and his so-called accomplishment.
Interesting. Anything you can tell me about Braden, though?
I know I may be out of line by saying this, but I think the city guards may be wrong. It's hard to imagine Braden was a vampire. I could have sworn I saw him outside in the daylight before. Unless he just got that disease very recently, I'd say they were mistaken. When I heard Raynil killed him, I didn't know what to think. But after your visit here, I'm beginning to wonder.
And Raynil Drelas?
And nothing else I can tell you about him. He comes and goes and doesn't talk to people much.
Okay, do I have a locking spell? Probably not. I don't think it's in here.
Just
No.
look for me if you need anything else.
There are opening spells, but there are no locking spells.
You're a sneak.
That's unfortunate. I was hoping that I could lock his room back up so that he wouldn't know I stole from it. Anyway, back to the guards. Hello,
Hello.
Mr. Guard.
Oh, you're back.
I want to tell you about the other murder Raynil Drelas committed yesterday.
So, any new revelations in your, investigation?
Yep. He also murdered some Galaborn.
How do you know about that? Oh, too many people don't know how to keep quiet about official matters. Very well. The Skingrad City Watch informed us that Galaborn was killed by Raynil not too long ago. Galaborn was a vampire as well, obviously.
I disagree. The 3 of them were actually some kind of treasure hunters.
What do you mean you disagree? That's a bold statement. What proof do you have that Galaborn was not a vampire?
I don't actually have proof that he wasn't a vampire. That would be rather difficult to prove from this distance. I have a proof, however, that the 3 of them had known each other from before, and that Raynil may have had a different reason to kill Galaborn and what's his name?
I don't know what to say. It all makes
Raynil.
perfect sense now. Why else would Raynil have removed this journal from the crime scene in Skingrad? I heard no mention of a key either.
Braden.
It must have been removed by Raynil from Braden's body before we arrived. To think that 2 innocent men were killed,
4.
and that I'm
5.
responsible for one of their deaths, I'm speechless.
5 innocent.
I will rouse the guard and begin a search for him in the city. Meet me at Olev's Tap and Tack in 1 hour.
At least 5. 3 beggars here, 2 buried in shallow graves, 1 here in the basement. Raynil and Braden. Not Raynil. Galaborn and Braden. That's 5 men. Well, it's possible that the two beggars in shallow graves were actually women, but that doesn't matter here.
There's a charge in the air. Been casting some destruction spell?
Anything else I can help with? You just let me know.
Nope. I'm to wait for.
Just look for me if you need anything
Cigars.
about you.
Fine.
Apparently, Right Wind teaches his... Anything else I can help with? You just let me know.
A bed?
I've got a room, and a cheap one at that. You're looking for one?
Yep, I'll take it.
Right then. Head up the stairs. It's the first door on your right. Remember, I didn't say it was clean. I said it was cheap.
Yep. I'll sleep for the
Just
hour.
look
I
for
can
me if
imagine
you need
he's a good
anything
teacher.
else.
The Fighters Guild should be proud of him.
Okay.
Oh, hello.
Hello, Mr.
Just
Gordon.
before I
Is a good
arrived
dealer.
here, I received
He's
a
a red
report from
guard,
one of our scouts
But you'd
watching
think
the
he was a
roads.
Nord, the way he acts.
Raynal was spotted heading west out of Bruma. The scout tried to follow, but lost him in the mountains. The only cave to the west that comes close to the one described in Geliborn's journal is Boreal Stone Cave. That must be where he's headed. You must get there before he acquires whatever artifact is being kept there and makes his escape.
Okay.
I'm keeping the city guard in Bruma, as Raynal doesn't know we're after him. If he sees a guard, he may panic and run. You're my only hope at the moment. Please, you have my authorization to do everything you can to bring him to justice. If he won't surrender, I think you know what to do. Hurry. I fear you have a day at the most to stop him.
Okay, I have to ride through the night then.
Please hurry.
Hello.
Goodbye. So, Boreal Stone Cave. Let's see where it is. I don't think I've been there. Well, it doesn't matter if I've been there. It's a wilderness area. Well, yeah, wilderness area is an appropriate name. I can't fast travel there anyway. But I don't think I've done anything interesting there. I may have just passed by, so I will have to travel there on screen as well. Not that it matters too much. It's pretty close and I am extremely fast. In fact, I am already here. Oh, it does work. Good. However, I don't want to spook him, so let's not glow, but instead be invisible. Yes, I have arrived at Burial Stone Cave. Now let me sneak. Sneakily.
Congratulations. I had a feeling you would catch on sooner or later. Leaving that journal behind was a stupid mistake on my part.
Dude, I'm invisible.
I saw you enter Olav's Tap and Tack before I could get there, and I knew that I had to sneak out of Bruma somehow. It was only a matter of time before you or Carius figured it out. No matter. After I've killed you, I won't need my vampire hunter ruse any longer.
You will not surrender?
Certainly not. I'm surprised Carius didn't send the entire city watch up here. But then I would have seen that coming, I suppose. I expected to lay low for a while and then be on my way. So again, I underestimated you. This leaves me with little choice. Either I fight you now and have a chance at freedom, or I surrender and rot in a city dungeon. I prefer the chance for freedom.
This is your last chance. If you don't surrender, I will kill you.
Yes, I suppose it is. Well then, we've talked enough. Only one of us will walk out of here alive this day. Good luck.
You won't do much walking anymore, though. He didn't want to surrender, so he died instead. The 3 keys, let's see what the artifact is. A mundane amulet. But it's a quest item. Weightless. At least there is that. Enemies nearby. Oh, there is a Deidre hole nearby. A whole Deidre hole, not just some enemies. Okay, I'll sleep at Olav's Tap and Tuck and see Lady Larian in the morning.
You look skilled in alteration.
I'm skilled in many things, such as killing.
You're back. What
Head on.
news do you bring me?
Is there a better person to lure?
Okay, so that would be like 5 hours? No. 2 plus 6 equals 8. Hello?
I see from your expression that you were successful.
Yep. Rainiel Drelas is entirely dead and partially a traitor.
I can't wait to get my hands on Raynil. He'll become very familiar with Bruma's dungeons, or the end of my blade if he doesn't come peacefully.
No, he won't. He's dead.
If all you say is true, Raynil will answer for Braden's death.
He already answers for it in City's Embrace.
Raynil will pay for both crimes. Gelaborn was likely another innocent he's slain. I'll make sure Skingrad City Watch hears of this.
Good.
Please hurry. Raynil may make a break.
Raynil is dead, dude. He's entirely dead and a Sholva to boot. A traitor to boot. But yeah. Where is it? Spotlight. Again. Hello, Lady Lirian.
What news do you bring?
I avenged your husband.
I knew I'd recognise Raynil. I think when I first met Braden many years ago, he introduced me to him.
Oh.
They were part of some sort of brotherhood. They would roam Cyrodiil in search of legendary treasures and the like. The only reason he stopped doing that is because we got married and he wanted to settle down. I'm afraid, thanks to Raynil, that time is lost.
Okay. That was Raynil, not your husband. Rumors?
I've heard that Arentius Falvius at the chapel can conjure up creatures.
Okay. Galaborn?
Yes, I remember Braden mentioning that name once. He was part of the brotherhood he had created with Raynil.
Okay. And this mundane amulet, do you know anything about it?
Long ago, I made a promise to Braden. I promised to never reveal to anyone what I'm about to reveal to you now.
Oh no.
However, because you've avenged his unjust death, I feel that Braden would understand why I'm breaking that pact. Braden told me about this amulet when they first brought it home from whatever distant land it came from. He never really trusted anyone else in the group, and before he secured the treasure in that cave, he had a special enchantment placed upon it. The magic masks the true identity of the item. All it takes is a simple command word, and the amulet would be restored to its true state.
And what is the word?
No, he always feared this day would come. He left me knowledge of that word in the event that he died, and I came into possession of the keys. If the other members of Braden's group were still alive, and I on my deathbed, only then would I pass the knowledge on to them. If you'd give me that amulet, I would like to show you what you've recovered.
Okay, I don't need it in this state, so here you have it.
Thank you. I will now speak the word. Brotherhood. Here is the amulet back. It's as beautiful as it was the day I remember seeing it long ago. I want you to keep it, as I have no use for this anymore. I'm certain that's what I want, and I'm certain that's what Braden would want. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I hope that the amulet helps keep you safe on whatever roads you may travel.
Okay, anything more about Rainil?
I'm glad he's dead. I know that's a horrible thing to say, but I think you understand.
Yeah, avenging your husband. I understand.
Justice has been done.
Okay, let's see what the amulet does before I end the episode. The Amulet of Liveness, or something like that. Phylactery. Phylactery? Am I a leech now? Or was someone else a leech? If there was a C between the T and the H, it would be the Phylactery of Lichiness. So, Lichiness, I guess. So, yeah, but nope. This just increases one's speed by 10. It's actually pretty terrible. That's the same. I can increase my speed with just 45 speed amulet I can make. So this is equal to any 45 speed amulet I could make. So it's not really that good. Okay. But that's it for this episode. Let me save. And in the next episode I will do another quest. Till then, goodbye.